Hey everybody, so haven't done one of these in a while, so you have to forgive me, not real good at it maybe. You'll have to forgive my lack of like any setup at all, because we're in the process of moving, we're staying in an Airbnb right now. You know, this is basically all I could do, you know, in the time I had, so we just have to put up with it. Anyway, so with this video, what I wanted to do is like, you know, I get a lot of questions, people tweet me things, you know, comments, things like that. I get a lot of the same questions and comments like over and over again, which is fine. And I usually try to answer them like personally, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to make a video here and kind of answer some of the most common questions I get, because like, I see the same ones kind of over and over again, which again, you know, it's I'm not blaming you, I'm just saying I get the same ones over and over again. So I thought I would just kind of answer them here, so, you know, hopefully it all makes sense to you. I saved a couple here, so I think I'll just pull them up. So the first one is, hey, do you want to be... Why did I save this? Oh, right, for clickbait, yeah. So here's one I get a lot, which is, I think it'd be interesting to see you react to some anime, even ones you've already watched. I get requests to do anime all the time. Everyone's like, you should do anime. Hey, you should check out One Punch Man. You should do My Hero Academia, whatever. Now, there's a couple reasons why I don't do anime, but this is kind of part of a larger topic. The reason I don't do anime mainly is because, okay, so the format of my videos, right, is like a live action TV show, and then I have my little rinky-dink cartoons, and then we go back to the TV show, and it kind of flips back and forth, right? And so you get like live action and then cartoon and whatever. It's like visually, I think, this is my theory about why my videos are interesting. You might disagree. I think the thing that makes my videos visually interesting is that because it cuts between live action and cartoon, there's kind of this, like you're kind of getting different visual stimuli all throughout the video. And so it makes it interesting to watch, or at least for me, I think it makes it a little more interesting in that way. If it was a cartoon and then my worst cartoon and then back to the cartoon, I don't think it would have the same interest or like effect, because like my videos, right, it's like, you know, there's the show or the movie or whatever, and then I draw these like really like ridiculous over the top versions of the characters in the show, whether it's, you know, Riverdale or Twilight or whatever, and I draw these kind of funny faces and funny actions, and then it goes back to the movie. But if it was an anime, like One Punch Man, for example, if it was like One Punch Man and then it was my worst version of One Punch Man, like drawing, and then it went back to the real One Punch Man, I just think it would be kind of weird. I don't think it would really like click the same way. Like it wouldn't make visual sense. Maybe I'm wrong about this, but just thinking about it, it's like, I don't think it would have the same visual pull as it does the way it is now. But now, bouncing off of that, I get a lot of requests to do a lot of different shows. There are some shows that I've actually tried to do that just don't work. Like you think they would work, or you think that they should work, but like they just don't. For example, one I get a lot is the new Elite show that was on Netflix. People are like, oh, you should check it out. It's like Gossip Girl, but it's like serious and it's whatever. And I did. I watched the first 2 episodes and I was trying to like find enough material to make a video about, but it just didn't have the hook that something else would have. Like with Gossip Girl, it's so over the top in how people dress, how they act, you know, how Serena and Blair and their personalities and the parties they go to, it's so over the top. But like with Elite, for example, it's kind of a more realistic thing. I mean, I don't know if it's like realistic, but like it's more subdued. Like, you know, they have parties and they dress nice, but it's a much more realistic look at like rich versus poor, whatever. Not like Gossip Girl where it's just this like ridiculous thing. And so that show didn't really work. Revenge didn't work. I watched the first 2 episodes of Revenge trying to find something, because I get that one a lot too. It just didn't work in the same way. There wasn't enough of a hook, because like, you know, you think kids in high school with Elite should work, but there has to be like an extra something, whether it's like kids in high school with vampires, or kids in high school with werewolves, or kids in high school with magic powers. Like there has to be some hook that you can latch onto and make fun of. But like, or like with Revenge, right? It's just like these rich people living in the Hamptons plotting revenge against each other. So like there's nothing to like latch onto as like this weird aspect of the show. Like Vampire Diaries is so easy to make fun of, or like Pretty Little Liars, for example, is so easy to make fun of, because you have like the whole teacher-student relationship, and then there's like this weird like murder mystery thing, and then it's just the way the characters act and stuff is so over the top that it's so easy to make fun of. But you have shows like, for example, Elite, Revenge, whatever, that they're realistic enough that it's just, there's nothing there to like grab onto. Now, something else I get asked a lot to do is like K-pop or K-dramas and things like that, because those are popular for some reason. And the main reason I don't do that, like, I mean, copyright's a big one, because doing a new company's stuff is always kind of murky waters because it's like, you know, thankfully up to now I've just been content ID'd by several people, but like, you know, MTV blocked a video, and when it comes to like foreign companies, I don't know how they're gonna react. And so it's like, there's a chance they could do like a full-on like DMCA takedown, which would strike my channel, which would cause a whole bunch of problems. So it's like, I wonder how that would work. You know, again, that's just, I don't know till I try it, but it's something in my head where it's like, is it worth it? But also, you know, what I do with these shows, because most of the shows I talk about take place in high school, in American high school, and I know American high school very well, for better or worse. And so making fun of a show like Riverdale or like, you know, Teen Wolf, like whatever, it's easy for me to do because I can latch onto the high school aspect based on my own experience and do little mini story times about like, oh, when I was in high school, same thing happened to me, blah, 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 you know. If I were to do a video about a Korean drama, like, I don't know anything about South Korea or Korean culture or whatever, and so it's like, there would be something that I could latch onto and I could like make fun of, like, what the heck, this is so weird, but that could actually be like some part of Korean culture, and it just makes me seem like this ignorant, like, you know, insensitive, like, idiot. Because like, it's such a potential minefield of like, you know, like, is this something that's genuinely weird, or is it just like I think it's weird because I don't understand culture, you know? And so there's a lot of things I could get into with that. So it's like, I just think it's better if I don't do it, you know? So that was one question. Next one here is more storytime animations, pretty please. Yeah, you know, when I first started doing these animations, I did like TV show, story time, TV show, story time. I used to do a couple story times here and there are a few more that I want to do, but the thing is, like, first of all, my life is not that interesting. Like, I don't really have a whole lot of stories to tell you, really. I've told, you know, a bunch of Japan stories. I've told, you know, talked about Charlie. I've talked about a bunch of stuff. So, like, you know, there's not a whole lot more to tell, I guess. I mean, maybe I could pull some out. But another reason why I don't want to focus too much on story times is because pretty much every other animator on YouTube does story times, which is fine. But that's like, you know, animated story times. That's like a thing, right? Now, what I do is, you know, I do animations with like critiques, commentaries, whatever, on TV shows and movies. Now, there's a lot of channels that do talk about TV shows and movies. There's a lot of animation channels, but I haven't really seen anyone do what I do in the way that I do it. You know, doing animated whatevers about TV shows with story times and skits, whatever, mixed in, but like animated. I think that's part of the appeal of my channel. What kind of drew maybe a lot of you in is that the parts are familiar, but the product is something that's kind of unique in a way. That's my theory anyway. The last one I really want to talk about here is this one right here. I really enjoy your story times and your reactions to viral videos, especially musically. Please do more of them if you have time. This is something I do get a lot, because here's the thing, okay? Back when I was a tiny YouTube channel, okay? I was like 1,000 subscribers, I guess. Making fun of musicallys and kind of doing the whole like H3H3 commentary type thing. That was like a big deal back then. You know, that was, what, 2.5 years ago or something like that? Now, I mean, to be fair, what I'm doing now is really not so different than what I did with musicallys, but the big difference is that it's not musicallys. Back then I had 1,000 subs, my videos got like a couple hundred views, like 400 or 500 views maybe, and so I could kind of do anything, I could say anything, like it didn't matter. No one was watching, nobody really cared. Now when my channel took off with the animations specifically, you know, I only had a couple animations at the beginning, and so people went back to watch my old videos and they found the musicallys, and a lot of people liked them. You know, truth be told, I think they're actually pretty funny. Like, I think they're still kind of funny, but I don't want to do that anymore for one specific reason. Well, actually for many reasons, but the biggest one is like, you know, making fun of fictional characters in a fictional world. You know, making fun of Archie or Jughead or whatever, like that's one thing. But making fun of real people in the real world is very different. Especially now that I have like coming up on what, 900,000 subs pretty soon or something like that, 1 million, I don't know what it is. You know, it's like back when I had 1,000 subs, who cared? But if I made fun of these Musical.ly kids now, that would probably get back to them, and that would either cause drama or it would just, there's potential for just this whole like explosion of stuff. And really at the end of the day, okay, like I'm 30 years old, like what do I care what some 12-year-old's doing on some app? You know what I mean? Like, what do I care? Like, yeah, it's cringy, it's dumb, they're singing, they're doing weird dances, like, whatever, but like, why should I even bother, you know? And like, I get that it's popular and it'll probably get a lot of views, but like, at what cost? You know, what would I lose in the pursuit of views and fame? You know, it's like, I like my own little niche here on the internet where it's like TV shows, movies, sometimes story times, and once in a while a little sit down video like this, maybe a video essay now and then. I kind of do my own thing. I don't really want to bother anybody. You know, like I said, I used to make these kind of videos. I used to, you know, make fun of musicals. I used to, you know, talk about other YouTubers who were bigger than me and how cringy they are. You know, I did it for a little bit, and then it just got to this point where it's like, why? Like, why do I care? Like, okay, they're cringy. Don't watch them, I guess. You know. Now, TV shows is different because it's like, you know, a TV show is the product of a whole team. It's not just one person's YouTube channel, one person's TikTok or whatever. Like, you know, it's a whole team and it has to go through so many approval processes. So it's like the end product after 20,000 approvals to get this made was this, you know, and that's what I kind of make fun of. So that's just some of the things that I get a lot. I kind of wanted to answer and just kind of explain why I do or don't do certain things. You know, like, believe me, I know that people want musicals or TikToks. I know people want anime. I know people want K-pop. They want BTS, whatever. Like, I get that. But, you know, I don't think it would work that well. Either it wouldn't work that well or it would like really crash and burn. Like I said, like if it was K-pop, whatever, if I made fun of something that I thought was weird, but it's actually like this totally normal thing in South Korea, then it's like, that just makes me look like an idiot, you know? So I have to be careful of when I branch out to new things. I do want to do more video essays for sure. You know, story times, I have a couple ideas maybe. You know, because if you miss the story times, you miss like the other things. Like every video that I do, it's not just the TV show. If you actually watch it, it's like the Musical.ly reviews I used to do, mixed with story times, mixed with animated skits, mixed with a whole bunch of stuff, and it all comes into this one product that is based on a TV show, but it's not really that much about the TV show sometimes. Like the Twilight video I just put out, like there's this whole like diatribe I did about holding hands in the movie theater that really is only based on one tiny scene in the movie, but you know, I turned that into like a story time. You know, I think if you look past the whole like, Twilight doesn't make sense, if you look past that and actually watch the video itself, there's actually a lot of aspects to it that call back to like the old story times and the old like whatevers I used to do. Anyway, guys, you know, thanks for watching. Like I said, I kind of want to sit down and do more of these just because like there's things I want to say or do or whatever that aren't really don't make sense for an animation, and I, you know, maybe once in a while I'll sit down and do this. Not too much, okay? Not turning into a vlog channel here, but just maybe once in a while. Anyway, thanks for watching, and guess I'll see you.